Lego is a toy company that makes some of the best toys that I've liked myself. And also it's a phrase to tell your friends when you really want to, get out of the house after the pre-party and get to the club. Hey bro, Lego.
Like,
But today we're going to talk about the magical and quintessential toy. Lego was founded in 1932 by Ole Kirk Christensen, and this was in Denmark. And this company has been passed along for many years. One thing that I found interesting, I mean, there's many videos on YouTube on the history of Lego, and they're animated, they're very good and entertaining. So I'm not gonna go into depth with that specifically, but I wanted to speak about more of the modern things that they've done to explode in their profits, but also in popularity. And what Lego has done, first let me give you a little bit of a history niblet here, is that one of the main things that made Lego back in the 60s and 70s blow up is the fact that they had a way of keeping the bricks together. So before Lego, there were still toys where you would build things out of little bricks, but the pieces themselves wouldn't stick to each other, right? And what Lego did is that they created a pattern so that in the back of the pieces, you had this, design that when you put another piece on top of it, not only will it stack, but it will also stay together. And anyone that's hearing this, if you think about Lego, you already know how that feels when you put two pieces together. They stick to each other, okay? Like me and Chef Maurice, through all of the hardships.
do you want to be the part with the holes or the part with the bumps?
I'll let you be the bumps and I'm the hole.
Okay. Little spoon, big spoon.
Little spoon,
Okay.
big spoon. I think that's the Native American names. Little spoon, big spoon. Okay. So that was one of the main innovations in Lego that made it better than the other sort of similar toys, right? You could build better things because now they could stick to each other. All right, perfect. So years passed, they started coming out with kits, right? So it's like a kit for building like a little, gas station with Legos. Oh, that's fucking cool. 80s, 90s, fire. Then in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, they started sort of testing this branding scenario. So what would happen is Star Wars is coming out. I think Star Wars was one of the first ones. All right, let's make Lego pieces licensed with Star Wars. Obviously, Star Wars gets some sort of way money, and you create these things. And that's when Lego sort of realized one very special thing. It's like this is something that could become culty, and that people that are adults, could gravitate towards. But at the beginning, they didn't really like it because the CEO and management, they wanted to sell to kids. And they actually thought that the older people, like our age now, right, 35 and older, that bought Legos to make their own creations, they were like weirdos, sort of like, now we don't like you. You're kind of weird. Get out of here. But what started to happen is that not normal, I don't think, but, adults started buying Legos and making their own creations. And Lego had already tested with Star Wars, so they're like, look, let's start testing with more brands. And they started making more Lego set pieces with branding. And you know what they did also? Instead of going the route of thinking that adults that like toys are dumb and weird, they were like, no, let's embrace them, because guess who has the money? The kids don't got the money, the adults do. Strippers got a lot of money. So I want to go for the adult industry. So now Lego said, look, we can sell to the kids who need the money from their parents, but we can also sell to the parents because we're in 2020, whatever year it was. And now adults want to be kids because they're bored of life and they're stupid. They buy Funkos and shit. So, so they started doing these branding things and making the sets a lot more complex and more tailored to adults, right? And we speed forward to now. Oh, by the way, some of these weird people that were making, big sets, Lego hired them, and they became set designers, where they would help out to create things. For example, I like Lego a lot, and I build a lot of cars.
Okay.
So I have like a like a Ferrari. I have a
A
McLaren.
Lego Ferrari.
Yeah, and then I have a
Yeah.
bunch of them, and they're very nice. It's actually very fun to build it. You feel like it's a toy that is worth every penny because it provides like an initial excitement when you buy it, then a second excitement when you build it. But even when you're building it, if you put some music in the back, a glass of wine, you feel like you're really testing out your manual skills. And then when it's done, you feel this sense of accomplishment. And you're like, fuck, I might not have the money for my rent that's due tomorrow, but this makes me feel a little bit better, you know?
Do you have any big pieces? Any big sets?
I don't, but I wanted to ask you because this is where I wanted to get to. Now, Lego hasn't made the amount of money they're making now ever before. They have exploded their sales in the last 10 years because of this branding. And now, when I go to the Lego store near my house, they have such crazy sets now with like huge, for example, I love space stuff. They have huge like spaceships and NASA sets. They have a huge Batman vehicle, the Batmobile, that you can build. They have all sorts of things that you can build now. And I know that you, for example, built a very large piece, which is the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, which is the stadium where the Real Madrid plays in Madrid. And I know that that is a few $100 that it costs, so it's expensive, but it's also very complex and big to build. So I mean, I want you to tell me a little bit about this because that's like for them that's the jackpot. If they can sell a piece to an adult for 400, $500, that's fucking that's profit.
That's
But
profit.
tell me, do you think it's worth it? Do you like Lego? You built it. Is it a fun experience? What do you think about all this? Are they doing the right thing?
I think you're managing, or in this case, in my case, they're managing to the fanatic, right? To the fan of a team. They also have other stadiums, which I think is very cool. Um, and like I said, it's not cheap. It's quite expensive, and it brings I don't know how many pieces, maybe more
I think it's
more than
close to
ten
five.
thousand.
Oh, more than 10,000 pieces. Okay.
I'm still looking for it, but it's I think they're that just applies to the nostalgia. Like, oh, okay, I want to have this piece of perhaps memorabilia of a stadium. In my case, there's other people who just do it for fun and to collect it, which is great. I think it's a it's a very expensive thing to do, but it's also very cool. With this one, it was a birthday gift. So me and my significant other built it together, and I thought it was very cool. It had been years since I played with Legos, so this brought back that nostalgia kid feeling of building something. I remember having sets, like small sets, but then at the end, it was just one big box of pieces that could just build anything. And now I'm looking through Lego stuff on Google, and then there's a page where you can send a picture of the pieces that you have, and it gives you what you can build with them, which I think it's great. It's very smart to do
What else? So
because
you go online and is this the
you take
Lego
a picture
page?
of no, it's just like a random page that somebody created, where you can take a picture of the pieces that you have, any pieces, any color, any size, and then it gives it takes like a minute. It's thinking and it tells you how to build, I don't know, a car or a dinosaur, in smaller scale. But I think it's great because
Damn.
it gives it another purpose of doing this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. No,
you build a big one, and then once you destroy it, unless you have everything written down,
there's
then
actually
you
a
can't really do
problem
something.
because in the last years there's been burglaries where they go to Lego stores and they steal big pieces. There's pieces that cost like 1,000, $1,200, like the big Star Wars ship. I know
I'm
it's
guessing
huge.
those they steal them and then they resell them for way
Yeah.
more of the value.
Imagine going to your crack dealer and get, hey, I have here a Lego Titanic set. This cost $600 MRSP. What's good? They're like, all right, I give you $20 worth of crack. All right, deal. Boom. That's sad. Selling one of those things for just $20 worth, you know. Get a nice bag, you feel
Just
me? Or take an extra day to sell it on eBay, then get the cash, go buy more D's. Let's call the substances D's. Because then
you were right. You were right. It's 5,800 pieces.
pieces for the Santiago Bernabeu
stadium.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You know that there's people that, for example, like puzzles. I haven't done puzzles in a while, and I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I could do it. It'll be fun. But I think Legos is like a puzzle that's even better. And I think it's one of the best toys ever created. I love it. I think it incentivizes creativity, problem solving, and just makes the visual and the imagination connect in a way that I think is really, really good for kids that are already of age. I think it's a great thing to do.
I'm gonna share. I think you would like this Lego. This
Okay.
this might be a very good birthday gift for Kiko in the future.
Okay, noted.
I think you'll like this one. I'm sharing it now. Okay.
Oh
I
shit!
think it's fucking amazing. This one. This is
co-
the Roman Colosseum.
The Colosseum. This one is sick.
This
Wow.
one looks pretty damn nice.
Unfortunately, it's a retired product, and this is another thing that comes
Oh
into
shit! I
play.
didn't see that. Yeah.
So what happens is that Lego, kind of like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton, they make certain sets for a certain season, right? So we're gonna do the Coliseum for the next year and a half, and then after that is retired. So there's people that buy the sets and don't open them, and then wait years, and then
Right.
those sets now become more valuable. So probably right now, if you wanted to buy the Coliseum in eBay, it probably costs $2,000.
Let's look it up.
Look it up. So this is another thing that goes down. It's a second hand market, right? I guess used. It's not used. The boxes are unopened, and then Lego bought the website that does this sort of peer to peer sales.
I'm gonna share you the picture of the eBay Lego set, and you tell me how much it is.
Okay, this is perfect. Now we can even go real time, search for the things. All right, so take a look at that. You can buy the Coliseum Lego set for $900. And since Chef Maurice already said, oh, I'm going to keep this in mind for a Kiko present, he already knows how much he's going
I
to
already know what to get you. Yeah.
But this is pretty sick. And there's one that you can get, which is, it's not that expensive. It's like $250, I think, which is the Super Nintendo console Lego form,
Nice.
which is pretty sick. They have all sorts of things now, whatever you're interested in: space, animals, planes, trains, vehicles, tractors. You know what? They even have set pieces where you can make a bonsai tree, flower garden. There's a bunch of Mario, Mario Bros, Nintendo stuff. There's a lot of Harry Potter stuff if you're into the Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Hello. Oh, what I'll build a Lego. So look at this one. This is pretty sick. This is
pretty cool.
This is the NES. For the people that are listening on audio, unfortunately, I cannot describe what I'm seeing because it's pretty sick. but you can search for the Nintendo Entertaining System Lego set.
Damn, it opens and everything.
I mean, having this in your house, if you're a single man and you have this in your house and you bring a girl over, you know you're getting the hack toy.
Oh hell yeah!
Imagine you are single, you do have a girl over, you show her that, you're thinking she's gonna go insane and give me the hack toy, and she's like, oh my god, what is that? I don't even know what that is, because she's like 20, so she never played this, she was born in she was born in 2004. She's like, what is that? I never seen that. And you're 45 because you're a sick son of a bitch and your name is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ooh, okay.
This girl's about to be 22, which you know what that means. Too old. Next. What's her sister? All right. So anyways, Lego. Amazing, amazing creation from the Danish. The Danish are good for a few things. Denmark, for people that don't know. One of them is Lego, and the other two I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty cool. Probably I don't know, a beer, and I think they do like some weird canned fish that smells really bad, or maybe that's Norway. But Denmark seems like a great place to go. I haven't been. I would like to go. Places I like to visit. The Nordic countries. Why? Take a guess. Take a guess. This is not a rhetorical question.
A lot of White Walkers.
Okay, great answer. Understandable. Not the correct one. I'm very fond of tall, blonde men with blue eyes. Are you putting a thumbs up? Yeah. Okay. But, it's because they're organized. Okay? And they don't fuck around. They got laws, and the laws are followed. So what are these Nordic countries, Kiko? Well, we're talking about Norway, Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, up to an extent. And then once you go... Finland. Even Estonia. It's not very Nordic, but it's still like,
A lot of White Walkers.
Greenland, Iceland, all of that.
All the lands.
All the lands. So those are countries that I would want to go to. But yeah, Lego is an amazing toy.
I didn't know this was made by Swedish people, which makes sense.
Danish, motherfucker.
Danish people. Oh. Could you say they're all the same? No, right?
I mean, this is the thing. Just like when some people look at Latinos, right? Like they look at us. Oh, you're Venezuelan, whatever. That's like Colombian, Mexican. That might bother you. You're like, hey, I'm Venezuelan. It's not the same as a Colombian. However, if you are from Denmark, a Venezuelan and a Mexican are pretty much the same shit. Just the same as for us, a Danish and a Norwegian, we're like, yeah, whatever. You guys are up there. So I agree with you in that one.
Are you planning on buying any more Lego sets?
I am.
Okay.
Right now, I have a limitation due to money. I'm in a state of what's called being broke.
Okay.
All good.
Always. We've always been.
Well, I mean, life these days is a constant crisis, right? But yeah, Lego sets are not cheap. And yeah, but I do want to actually buy like a big piece, in some time in the near future. Because up to now, I've only built smaller pieces of like 500 pieces, I want to get a set of like a couple thousand.
How long are you willing, like how much time are you willing to spend building this?
Oh, whatever it takes.
Okay, so you're willing to put in the money and the time.
Well, I mean, if I put the money, I'm going to put the time.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if it takes me a vehicle that's like 500 pieces, it takes me like 45 minutes.
Okay.
So if this instead has 5,000 pieces, then that's 45,000 minutes. I don't know. But it's 45 times 10. So it might take me a few days. But then the accomplishment is going to be bigger.
Every time I see
the
mine,
accomplishment.
I get very proud of myself.
Important when I kind of see it from here. I mean, I don't think people might be able to see it. Are you able to bring it? Can you bring it? Or like, are you naked? Are you naked?
I'm naked from the waist down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be showing my Lego piece.
I see. Well, you can share your screen real quick.
Okay.
For example, go online and look for the Santiago Bernabeu picture. Share it. Then, or is this piece very heavy to carry?
It's not heavy to carry.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. Just show us online. Just search for the set piece, and people will see it better. Because this one was like a 5,000 piece.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to build. It is a very repetitive one where you have a lot of things that repeat. So it's not. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. I'm actually nervous to know what the challenge would be building a 5,000 piece one. For example, one that I would want to build is the Challenger spaceship, which is a couple thousand. Okay, could you zoom in a bit? This is the one you have?
The exact same one I have, yeah.
Okay, granted, this is not how the stadium looks like anymore. It has had some changes.
Yeah, this is the old one, like the old before renovations.
Right, before renovations. So this is a classic look. It's actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
And the fact that,
Yeah.
like, I understand why people go crazy with these pieces because it connects so many things at once. It connects your urge to want to be creative. It connects your love for the brand. In your case, you like Real Madrid. And then it puts it all in a physical thing that can bring you that joy every time you look at it.
Yeah.
Now, important with Lego pieces, get a little dust cleaner where you can take the dust out because they collect a lot of dust.
Yeah.
And they don't look as shiny when that happens. So, well, just little tips for the people that are out there. Talking about nostalgia. Sorry, you had a thought in mind?
No. I was just gonna say, I think the biggest one from what I can find right now is the Eiffel Tower one.
Can you show it? And how many pieces is it?
Yeah, let's.
Damn, they
try
had to give it to
open
the French, huh?
You'd be surprised, man. The French, they won with this one. I think it's it should say, let me see. It's 149 centimeters,
Okay.
and it's 10,001 piece
10,001.
and one.
That's on purpose. That's like, sorry, we want to have more than 10,000. Just one more. Because we better. My name is Francois. Sorry, I have French friends.
Pretty sick.
Okay, so this is 10,001 pieces, $630. Damn, this is gangster. Damn,
Man,
I gotta
it's
be honest.
huge.
I gotta be honest. This is pretty sick. I would
Seems
take.
like you build it in pieces and then just put it together.
I love how in the right of this store it says, "Hey, get $10 cash back with your purchase." Yeah, it cost $630. Okay, no, this is pretty sick. This is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
It's pretty tall too. Because look at this one. The guy is maybe one head above the Eiffel Tower.
Wow. Yeah, there
Pretty sick.
are some that are really nice, and you can even put them as decoration in your house. I'm telling you, if you haven't gotten into this, start getting into the world of Lego, and sometimes you gotta let go. Are there
I
any?
always thought that Legos was for kids.
Right.
Like my thought was more like this is a kid toy. But since now you see all this like huge structures, I can see why people are more into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Older generations.
don't get me wrong. Just like the community, the LGBT community, in the past, the adulting world of Lego, they were seen a little bit like, PDF files. Okay? I say it like that because, So if you were like, hey, I'm into Legos, you're like, what? Yeah, I'm into Legos. Okay, you're a PDF file. We need to compress, use whatever, seven compressor. So what I'm trying to say with this is, in the past, it wasn't cool. Now it's cool. Not only is it cool, it has a name, okay? And the people that like toys but are adults, they are called Kidults. By the way, not the best name. It kind of sounds like a special section of the Hamas army, like the Kidults,
It seems
But-
like they put it together very close to the meeting. They're like, we got to come up with a name. Kidults.
Yeah, Kidults. No, but you know what's interesting, and you probably noticed, I've noticed this more and more throughout the years. there has been a new market that has opened up, which is toys for Kidults.
Mm.
There's companies, for example, there's one company that makes Warhammer pieces, and what these are is little pieces that sort of you can make an army with. But imagine like model pieces of army, tanks, whatever the fuck, right? They're super expensive. They're not for kids. Kids aren't buying that. These are adults that have jobs and can afford this expensive shit. The Lego stuff that we're talking about, the explosion of the Funko Pop little figurines, right? I have some myself right here, right? I have Halo ones that I love. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And now they join with all the branding they can, so that you know they can get a lot of people buying this shit. There's people that buy all sorts of things that have to do with toys in the video game world. A lot of people spend money on like getting the original, Nintendo 64 or the original Super Nintendo. I have a Nintendo 64 that I bought at a convention a few years back,
Mm.
and I want to get a Game Boy.
Do you use it? Do you
No,
have a
it's
favorite game?
no, it's stuck. It's stuck in the dust. But the thing is, now I have a Nintendo Switch, and it allows you to play Nintendo 64 games. So I actually
Right.
can play Mario Kart on it.
I threw my Nintendo 64 away not long ago, maybe when I moved to San Francisco,
Wow.
and I didn't know if it had any value, and to me it didn't. I mean, I'm like already played for it for 20
Bro,
years.
if it
I can let
worked,
it
you would
go,
have kept that, you know.
and it worked fine.
Yeah, you threw it away in the trash. That's insane.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
Something like
insane.
that. With two controllers and a bunch of games.
Wow,
More
bro.
than 20 games.
Wow, that's insane that you did that. That's
Yeah.
insane. For the people in the comments, Pri, can you type in how retarded that move was?
GoldenEye was there. That was one of my
That's
favorite
insane.
games.
Just that game, it's insane that you lost it. You probably had
Mario
like
Kart,
Mario Kart. Wow. Killer Instinct.
Super Mario,
Wow.
Mario 64.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
any
I kind of regret it, but
Are there
I
things
wasn't
these
playing with
days?
it.
I mean, I know you're a busy guy, you work in the kitchen, you got a family to raise, you know, you're a man, right? Unfortunately, you're old now, you're getting. But are there any little things, like little hobbies or little toy things that you like that you're like,
Hmm.
fuck, I could get into this? Like, for a while, I used to like this little tech decks, little skateboarding things. Remember back in the day you used to play with these? So I don't know. Are there things that are like fuck? I would get into this. I don't know, Nerf guns, and then you go to a kids park and start shooting. I don't know. What is it that you're into these days? You
Hmm.
know.
I don't understand the craze, but I understand it. The craze for the baseball cards. Like, I don't understand it why it has come up again now. I used to also have a bunch of baseball cards, collectibles. I mean, um, and I threw away a long time ago, and I kind of regret now more than the Nintendo 64 because it was a big collection. Every time I would visit the United States, I would bring home a bunch of baseball cards, and maybe those were very valuable. I don't know, but is it something I could get back into? No, I think hobbies now are very expensive, and if even more so if things are like from our younger age that are resurfacing now, they're starting to get more expensive because I think a lot of that the money rise, right, and the on prices, it has to deal with like the nostalgia part. People are just cranking the money up on certain things that when we were younger it was like $10. Now it's like 500.
I wish I had the craze for the cards, like the sports cards, basketball cards, baseball cards, because I feel like that's a pretty cool hobby. But like you
Mm.
said, it is very expensive. I'm actually interested in knowing more. I'll investigate a bit, and maybe we'll have a podcast on this. But there's a new brand called Fanatics or
Hmm.
Fanatic, who is the it bought, if I'm not mistaken, it recently bought Tops and Top Deck, which were the two main brands that did sports cards. And And I think they also do like the uniform for a bunch of leagues. I saw the creator or the CEO that was on a radio show the other day talk like he's pretty hip or whatever. But they have a monopoly on the card game now for pretty much every sport. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Like for example, there are businesses that are very monopolized, but having that competition gives it a little bit of zest and also keeps quality and prices down. So, for example, in the hat world, just give me 1 second. Just 1 second.
In the trading car world, expensive as fuck.
In the hat world, everybody knows Chef Maurice. Well, today he's not wearing any hats, but he loves them, right? You have two main competitors, New Balance and 47. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, not New Balance, New Era. Sorry.
New Era, yeah.
New Era and 47. Okay, perfect. You have two brands. In the world of sports cards, you had Tops and Top Deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also had Panini in Europe, which is the one that always did the World Cups for soccer, football. Which Panini is very good. They're Italian. They're Panini. Anyways, they are all bought by Fanatic. And my thing is, when one company controls it all, then they pretty much control the market because they can decide how many you do of each, how much rarity you give to each pack, to each card. And I don't know if that's good. I mean, I guess if the company is good and they do a good system, I guess that could be good, but I also see many ways that it could go bad because they monopolize the market and they own everything. They make hockey, cars, basketball, baseball, football, everything is done by Fanatic now. And I would want to talk about with somebody, or maybe I will research to what people think. Like the card collectors, what do they think about this change now? Did they prefer in the past where you had two companies at least or three that were doing the cards and that gave it another zest? Or is it better now? Maybe for collectors are like, oh no, the fact that it's only made by one company now makes it easier for us to move the cards and whatever the fuck, I don't know. It could be that it is a good thing or not. But it is interesting nevertheless because I don't like crypto. I think it's all bullshit. And I think like cards are memorabilia like that. It's like a lot more valuable. Like it actually has value because people put a sentimental value to it. Having a card or the rookie card or whatever it is.
Do you want to know which one's the most expensive? At least the ones that I looked up. Do you want to take a guess at the most expensive card right now?
Right now, the most expensive sports card is probably one of those old baseball cards, like a Ty Cobb or like Lou Gehrig.
I think you know this athlete, and he's not in baseball.
Okay, so is it a Michael Jordan rookie card?
Michael Jordan, 1984 rookie card, $25,500.
$25,500.
That's how much.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the most expensive card right now. I think
in this page that I'm looking up to buy.
Just search most expensive sports card because I think it's gotta be a baseball one because they go for the millions. It's either a baseball one from back in the day, especially because like baseball cards back in the day they came in like the nuts packages. Like if you bought like little snack foods for your kid, it came with a card. And those cards, most of the time, they were ripped apart and like tear down. So there's certain cards that back in the day, they were so hard to keep pristine that the ones that are pristine are worth a bunch of money. I know like the Ty Cobb baseball card is worth a lot. And there's a few others. But I think they go for the millions, the ones that go for the highest.
This one was sold by Sotheby's, which is a very... a company that does auctions, and they sold a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card, pristine condition. You want to take a guess? It's in the millions.
Okay, 2.5 million.
You're quite short. 12.6 million.
Okay, so you see what I'm talking about? Some of these go for insane prices. As a Mickey Mantle, I, for example, there's another one. I think Babe Ruth card is super expensive.
I'm gonna share really quick so you can see,
Yeah, let's
and the
see it.
people can see.
Yeah, the Jackie Robinson card. Let's take a look at some of these because they're very interesting. Isn't it crazy how it's not even a picture? I think it's like a drawing,
It's like a
right?
drawing. Yeah, yeah. I think that maybe that what's makes it unique, right? That's maybe a
Okay, look.
drawing
So here we
from.
have a 10 most valuable cards. Okay. All right, let's
Uh,
go. Or is it,
uh,
or is it at the top that you can go next?
let's see. No, it's this one. But oh, okay, okay.
Oh,
Honus Wagner
okay. So this is a whole. Okay, so you actually we started from the
from the
top.
bottom,
Yeah.
from the top. Yeah,
All right. So this is a
that
1909 Honus Wagner card. This is so old.
$7.25 million.
Okay. Okay. This
Babe
is
Ruth,
look at Babe Ruth, 1914 Babe Ruth. Okay.
and it's like you said, it's like a drawing. It seems like
7.2.
7.2.
Damn, that's crazy.
Same Honus Wagner.
Okay, this is just a
It's
different grade.
yeah,
So what happens also is that these cars are graded, right?
right,
For
right.
example, here you can see SGC. I think that's the company that grades them. And depending on the grading, they get, it costs more or less. So, okay, that's crazy. For people that are listening only, we're looking at the, baseball cards that are super old and that are worth a bunch of money. Like, for example, here, you see that this one says mint and a number 9.
Yeah.
So the highest you can get is a 10.
Mm.
So if you get a 9, I mean, it is fucked because the difference from a 10 and a 9 is a lot of money. But a 9 still gives you a shit ton of money. I think the
It
one,
says it says that there's six with a 9 grade in the
okay.
world for this Mickey Mantle
If you go to the very bottom,
card.
number 1, is that a Mickey Mantle with a 10 grade?
9.5.
9.5. The fuck, can you give it a 10? God damn it.
I mean, I guess 10 has to be
What,
in
like,
the package
yeah, in the
still,
package.
right?
Like, nobody ever, yeah, okay. All right.
Rookie LeBron James, it's a 9.
Okay, any
I
cost?
think this one, they're also expensive because it has a piece of that jersey that he wore on his first game or something.
Yeah.
5.2 million.
Yeah, at times these companies would make specific cards and give it rarity, like only make 20 of them and have it come with a
Right.
patch of the shirt that they use. So yeah, in this case, so this is a what? A Panini Luka Doncic. That's crazy. 4 million.
4
Somebody paid.
million. Shit. This is
Another
another
Mickey
Mickey
Mantle.
Mantle, number 9.
So this is a very sought after card.
Yeah, yeah.
And look
Patrick
at this.
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, Panini. Okay, so this is still in 2017 when Panini was still making cards. Shit, so Panini
Yeah,
made NFL card for a bit.
yeah.
And look at this.
Another
George
Babe Ruth.
Herman, Babe Ruth. Okay, from 1933. And
4.2 million.
these used to
Shit.
come in chewing gum packages for people. No, for
Yeah,
real. So okay. Oh, that's crazy. So those are the 10 most valuable trading cards ever sold. So yeah, it's a lot of baseball.
yeah.
And I think
I
the
think
reason for it is because they were the ones that were doing cards, in
way before.
way before. Yeah.
I think yeah, that's where it started. I never, I mean, from looking and trying to remember my collection, I never had any of this or any that looked like this. So, it was a lot of '90s baseball players. I don't know if you remember any, Ken Griffey Juniors or
Okay, so those were the ones you had.
those are the ones that I had at that moment they were still very young. So maybe they could have been valued at a couple $100, but I don't.
This is not smart nor economically wise for me. But this podcast today has gotten me excited about a new hobby that I need to get myself into. I don't know if it's gonna be cars because I think that is so extent, it's so big that it's almost impossible to like, get to a point where you like it. You feel me? Like it's like, oh, I need more. I always need more. But something I don't know, something that I can. It is important to think when you think about hobbies, you have limited space in your house. So, for example, I have
Unless you make a room for it.
yeah, but I don't have that money. I don't have the space to money to move to a bigger place. But for example, I'm addicted to video games, and those are stored digitally, so they don't take any space. But if I get into a new other hobby, it needs to be something that I can fit in a small space. Cars are not that bad. You can get cars into a small package and get a lot of them. But that is a whole world to get into. I do want people that are listening. Do you have a specific hobby these days that you are like, damn, Kiko, even though you're gonna spend a lot of money, it's probably gonna damage the future of your kid. This is a hobby that I really recommend you get into because it's gonna make your taint tickle and tingle, which is not the same. Similar, but not the same. Tingle and tickle.
I don't know. I haven't done like a big hobby thing. I used to collect beer caps from all the beers I drank. And I used to have, maybe more than 100 or 200 beer caps, and from different countries as well. Even I had friends who would go to like other countries and bring me the caps. But those I didn't value as much because I didn't drink them.
Okay, that's actually cool. So let's talk about little hobby of collecting things from the places you go to.
I think those are cool.
So for example, I used to think of this as something that was stupid to do and very basic-y. But now I do it myself where my refrigerator has a bunch of magnets from the different cities that I visit around the world.
But
does that mean you're an older person? It is.
Yes, of course. But now, does those magnets need to be from places that you've been? It's not like your sister went to
because
China
I see that you're
and
cheating. You're cheating.
Right.
However, this does happen a lot. You got friends that go places and then they bring you one.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I do? Do I not put this on my fridge? Do I have to tell anybody that comes that I have been to Singapore? Or can I just honestly say, hey, by the way, some of them I have been, some of them I haven't. Are they gonna judge me and then they're gonna say, okay, so why the fuck are you putting magnets that you haven't been to? That is a little bit misleading, and it does show a little bit of how your trust system works. So maybe we're gonna leave. We're not gonna come eat your carpaccio that you invited us today, Kiko. We're very disappointed.
I know people who collects them from people who goes somewhere. Like they bring you, and then you collect the ones that they bring you from
I do
places that
think
you've
it's
never
cool
been.
to do it yourself and bring things from the places you go. I know that you, for example, when you go to different baseball fields, you like to buy a hat from that team in the stadium.
Right.
So that's kind of like your little version of that.
Right. And that's how I've gotten my collection to grow. And I
Right.
also visit the place and I enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be a game. You could just be like one of those tours that you pay money to just like see an empty stadium. But yeah, I, in that sense, yeah, that's my little hobby. Same when I went to like a different country and I drank a weird beer, hopefully not an IPA. And I collect the caps. That, like I said, that used to be like my big thing, and people knew me for that. And I had my drawer was filled with beer caps from other places that I always thought it was cool. And even when I went to bars, I would keep the caps. So a lot of times would be repeated ones. A lot of Budweiser, Natty
So
Ice.
some people, for example, have a thing of collecting coins from different countries.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
a thing that excites you?
I think those are heavy. After a while, it gets heavy. But yeah, it for me has to be from the place I went to visit. I cannot, like you said before, I cannot get something from other person that went there.
Is
It's
it
not
okay?
gonna,
Is it okay to keep the chain of the victims that have passed by?
is that the Ukrainian?
Is it
Accent?
okay to keep part of the hair of the person before you bury?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, like let's say if you go to this is another thing that people do. Oh, I went to the Bahamas. and I brought a little bit of sand from the Bahamas.
What are you gonna do with that shit?
Is that okay or is that weird?
Weird as fuck.
Is it okay, for example, your grandma's favorite place to go, certain beach in the Bahamas, you go there, you get a bunch of sand, you get back to your home in Opelika, Florida. You grab your grandma, which is in a vase, in your living room. Okay? You get what I'm getting at? Okay, you grab your grandma, who's in the version of ashes. You combine it with the sand. Now they're together in peace.
Now you can say grandma visited Bahamas one last time.
No, she exactly, and she's actually there right now
Right.
in spirit. Is that okay, or is that some Jeffrey Dahmer shit?
Did your grandma collect weird things?
Well, I barely have any grandparents. I only have one grandma, and she doesn't collect weird things.
Well, my grandmother had a big spoon collection.
Okay.
You know the little travel spoons from places? She had a big collection of those.
Oh, those are cool.
And I think my uncle
Well,
has
from
it now.
like hotels or like.
No, I don't know if. Let me see if I can find.
Okay,
one
try to
so you
find.
can see
Or are
it.
these like
But-
spoons to do cocaine with?
Ah,
Is this little spoon, little spoon, little spoon, little spoon, or
it's okay.
is this a thing of the past where you would travel and they will give you spoons, places you went? Here, madame, here's a spoon from our state. This is a Texan spoon.
Okay, this one is. It's from a state.
It's
This is
made
not
with Texan iron. Iron. That's definitely a cocaine spoon. So you would buy. Okay, you could buy these as souvenir spots.
Right. So I remember my grandmother having a big collection of this,
Okay.
souvenir spoons.
Oh man, this is great. We're getting into all sorts of like collecting, Like
And I
remember,
think those are they have quite a value now.
do you think, for example, back in the day, the craze with the Beanie Babies, is that a thing that you think is cool or is that weird?
Beanie Babies. Let me look at it so I can remember what you're talking about.
I
Okay,
remember.
I actually the little stuffed animals, you can call
Yes,
it that.
stuffed bear.
I have one currently from a teacher that gave it to us while we were in the PPCHS era.
Also, back in the day when you were a little lad in high school.
She gave all her students
A Beanie Baby.
a Beanie Baby, like representing what she thought we were
Okay.
as like
and
as
which
animals.
Which one was yours?
I got a lion.
Oh, because the Beanie Babies came in different animals. Oh,
Right, it was
okay,
an
okay.
only teddy bears. It was like different.
Okay, that's true. They did branch out into making different type of things, not just the bears. For people that don't know, if you can find a picture of the Beanie Baby, the Diana, Princess Diana Beanie Baby. There was a time where the Beanie Babies were a craze and everybody wanted them, and some of them went for thousands of dollars. And the most expensive Beanie
purple
Baby was a purple Beanie Baby, which is a little bear. Back in the day, they only made the little bear; they didn't make any other animals. And the most expensive one was a purple one that was made in commemoration of Princess Diana winning the Grand Prix in Paris racing. Joke, she didn't race.
I got it.
Anyways. But look, $10,000 some of them are going for.
Damn.
So yeah.
And then some of these people, I like this one is $500, but this one is almost $9,000 because it's in a fucking glass case.
Yeah. So
Damn.
I
Person must be kicking
I find
themselves.
this world so insane. I actually downloaded them. Never mind. I found through the legal ways, through the legal streaming services, a documentary on the stuffed animals. Remember the Build-A-Bear? Mm-hmm. So you would, in the U.S. there was this like big chain of toy store where you would build a bear. You go, you choose the skin, you choose the interior. You could You could bring
They
your own
do.
stuffing. It's like, hey, can you put this kilo of Mary Jane's keys? They're like, what? No, I just gonna give it a better feeling. But anyways,
The store still exists, by the way. The
oh, it
Build a
does.
Bear. Yeah.
Well, on the documentary, sort of tells the story. I haven't seen it of how they became so successful and they started making mad money because these teddy bears weren't cheap. I think they were like $50. But they made the experience by you building it yourself, putting the little socks that you liked. You know, you put your little pants, you put your little shirt. It's cute for the kids.
I like this one, the Display Your Pride.
And the best ones were the Pride Bears, because they had nothing in the genital area because you chose it.
Yeah, I remember having a Build a Bear.
For example, on the month of the community, what they did is that you could get the bear, and you could nip it. You can nip it there. You just cut it and put something else,
Right.
depending
Of
on
course.
what the bear identified as. My bear identified as a mule, so I put a little package inside and chipped it off to my friends in the Netherlands. What? Why would you bring drugs to
What?
Amsterdam? Send it the other way around. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I love this world of collectibles, the things that people decide to give value to. I love that. Bills. I have a friend that brought me a North Korean bill. Money.
Money. Currency.
Currency. I think that's pretty cool. You know, like not just coins in circulation, but maybe old coins from, from a Spanish galleon back in the
Nazi
1800s.
Germany.
I don't think they were pirates in 1800, but oh yeah, a coin from the Führer. That'll be worth a lot of money.
But do you keep it? Or you sell it?
No,
What would you do in that case?
you keep it and you
Wait
wait
for the 100-year anniversary.
for the next Führer, and you give it to him. This has been kept by me for many years until the new. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you could save it for the new omen, for the new one that will come. Like the Dalai Lama, he keeps being born in a new kid.
In a new body, yeah. I don't know. Collectibles. What else? Oh, I used to collect a lot of soccer jerseys
Oh,
from
that's
different teams and countries. I still have most of them.
okay. Do they fit you?
No, hell no.
Okay.
I think maybe I wore, from my collection, maybe I wore them maybe once. There's a lot who still have tags because it didn't fit the slim. I love how they sell it like 2X, but it's like slim fit. So it's like, come on, bro. You can't be 2X and be slim fit.
Right. It's either one or the other.
Exactly.
And I hate it because it confuses you. It's like, this is double XL, slim fit. So what is that? What is a medium? All right, then call it what the fuck it is.
And a lot of soccer jerseys are doing that now. So you have to buy them like 2 or 3 sizes to be like truly fit to your
I
size.
think the sports jerseys are incredibly expensive. It's like 100 for a jersey. I think that's completely crazy.
And it feels like a scam as well because
Yeah,
a lot
is.
of soccer jerseys they change yearly, and as a fan, you want to keep up, but at the same time, you gotta make some money to keep
Yeah,
up with
I
that.
actually think wearing sports jerseys is a little bit of a beta move. So I'm not too into it.
I think they're coming back into you can wear them and they're not gonna be as cringy look.
You know
More
what's
as like
another
a
in the
statement.
zeitgeist of collectibles? Another one that's pretty cool right now is people collecting like DVDs and VHS tapes, especially because back in the day, for example, VHS tapes came in really cool packaging. So it's remember the Disney ones? They came in these plastic containers with graphics and it was beautiful. They're actually beautiful. So yeah, those old things are coming back, just like the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo. People are also bringing back like old movies, vinyls is not a new thing. A lot of people continue to like vinyls, but a lot of it has to do with nostalgia and also to a craftsmanship that is not there anymore. Back in the day, people put a lot more love into making products and making them quintessential.
Making them
That
unique.
unique, unique and practical. Like for example, I don't collect them because they're expensive, but Zippos, like the lighter,
Okay.
the
The
Zippo,
lighter.
I really like products like that are so simple. It has three parts. You can buy the little rocks and the lint if you need it, but it's just a magical product that works perfectly all the time. And you can collect them, for example, because they come in different, designs and shit. But products like that are just practical, I love, you know? Another collection that I don't recommend, but that some people have, is collecting weapons like swords or guns in the U.S. That one's a little weirder, but hey, you know, it's
I
it's valid.
I used to collect CDs,
Oh, that was another one.
but those I had to get rid of those. Like my partners, like either the CDs or me.
They
So
take too much space.
yeah, I used to like buy the CDs when they came out. So I would go to like Target or Walmart and buy the CDs the day that it got released, and it was mostly the CDs or the music I listened to
I
back
mean, but
then.
the thing is, back in the day, those things were cool. Buying a video game, you had the case with the CD. Is cool. Now I have a Nintendo Switch. I have no physical games. I mean, you
Yeah.
could buy them, but I don't. I prefer to like have a digital way in the Nintendo Switch, and it just makes it easier for me. But I do get the thing about having physical things. I collect these days now books because I'm starting to read now, but it's a different type of collection, right? Because the things that you collect in the sense of books, you read them, so you're actually consuming them. So it's not just a thing that's taking space. But yeah, people collect all sorts of things. Women like to collect clothing, shoes, purses.
Mira, mira. I quickly forgot where we were.
He quickly
Do you want
forgot that he spoke English.
do you want to see the most expensive Zippo that I found?
Yeah,
I don't know if this is the one ever made, but I think
it's
it's
pretty
pretty
expensive.
cool.
Oh, it has a roulette inside. Can you
It
zoom
has
in?
a roulette. Let's see.
Oh, you know what this is? This is a watch.
This is a watch. God damn it!
Yeah, Casino
Uh,
Pocket Complication Lighter. That's insane, bro. It isn't a Zippo
damn.
though.
No, it's another
Can you zoom
ST
in and
Dupont.
we can look at this? This is a little bit of watch talk. I'm a weird type of
What
watch
happened?
watch person where I like watches, but I don't have enough money to even have one.
I don't know what happened to zooming in. There's
Okay.
just too much technology for me.
All right. No, that's fine. Uh, no, I think this is fine. If you can just scroll
Yeah.
down, you could see all the little movements and the purple circles. That's actually a gemstone that's there, and it creates sort of the it allows everything to spin and not create that much friction. So you could see in the bottom it says 26 jewels. Each one of those little pieces in purple is a jewel. It's literally a jewel that they cut and put there. And this makes it so that this watch can go for many years and not have any issues. And the whole roulette thing, that's the dial. So that's where what marks the seconds and the minutes. It's pretty sick. I mean, this is pretty fucking sick. It costs $60,000. Yeah. I don't think I could ever be like how I don't know how rich I would have to be to even consider buying a watch that costs 60,000. To me, that's insane. I know that like people would love, oh yeah, like a Rolex, like this and that, bro. You could get a Rolex for $10,000. Even that to me is a little bit insane, but I could fathom it. If I'm making millions, I could fathom maybe like as a birthday or like after I accomplish something really big, I spend $10,000 on a Rolex. I could see
Look at
myself,
this one.
but 60,000, 100,000, 200,000 on a watch, that's insane.
It's too much. It's crazy. Look at this one though. Same look. It's just gold.
Okay, 60,000 too. I actually would go for this one. I'll be so scared to have like a watch that's linked to like fire next to it, you know? Like this thing could explode and now you lost $60,000. It's like, oh fuck, I put the the lighter fluid in the wrong place. Although it is kind of sick. You know what's something that I've been thinking of that might be a little bit weird? What if I was to get a pocket watch? But then I don't know, it wouldn't be practical, right? Already have watches that I could just look at in my hand and know. So it wouldn't be practical.
Well, it wouldn't be practical because you're living in an age where perhaps you don't need one. You have your wristwatch that could be a couple $100, but you also have a phone that can help with that.
Yeah,
So
but
it
how
could
sick?
be
How sick would you look? Let's say you're a single man. You go into a bar, not this riff-raff bars, but one that's a little bit more like, decent. Beers aren't that cheap, so it filters out some of the lower levels. So you see a nice girl looking pretty. Okay, she's blonde, but not really. You're not sure where she's from. She could be from anywhere. She has a blonde hair, but she has a miscellaneous face, but beautiful, exotic. You go near her. She's like, I want to smoke a cigarette. You're in a bar that for some reason allows people to smoke inside, like a little speakeasy, whatever the fuck. And she says, oh, you have a lighter? You pull out a lighter, clack, clack, it's a Zippo. A normal one, not a watch one. And then she's like, do you know what time it is? And you pull out your watch, but it's not a normal watch, it's a pocket watch. Super cute as fuck, like back in the 1920s. And you pull out this pocket watch and you tell her, oh, it's 8:46. And she gets so fucking turned on by you with that watch that she says, no, baby, it's not 8:46. You know what time it is? It's time for me to give you that hot.
so you're pulling out this, basically.
This is what I'm talking about, the panty dropper.
The panty drop. I love it.
The humidifier.
This one, Patek Philippe.
Patek Philippe?
And do you know how much it is? Do you want to take a gander?
Do you know how much it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just looked it up.
Patek Philippe is an expensive brand. Swiss made, Switzerland, Geneva. By the way, this is sick. I know this is not practical. I have a watch in my wrist that I can look at quickly, and it works just better. But there's like a thing to this that I don't know. I have a nostalgia to something that's not even something I lived. Okay, let's get to it. This is beautiful for people watching it at home. You could, see the beautiful watch. By the way, the thing in the middle that you see is the constellation in the skies. So each time that this thing rotates and goes along with time, it's also shifting what constellations are visible at that time. This is how sick that is. And this
Crazy.
cost, I will say, $100,000.
It is worth $24 million.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, son. Get wrecked, son. Get wrecked. Imagine
24
how
mil.
rich you have to be to spend 24 million on a watch.
But again, this is from Sotheby's. So somebody somebody paid for it. It was an auction.
Yeah.
But I mean, still crazy. 24 mil
No,
for
it's
a pocket
insane.
watch.
You know what's another thing that people like to collect? And again, we're getting more into collections now, not for the broke people. So before, at the beginning of the podcast, we talked about broke people vices or things that you can get into. Cars, Lego. I mean, you can start with Lego. It's not that expensive in some cases. But then we go into watches. And now let's go into vehicles. There's people that got enough money to collect cars, like Jay Leno and shit.
Jay Leno. Jay Leno is one of the most famous one who does this.
Do you have a thing for vehicles where if you were a millionaire, would you get vehicles? Because I myself, I'm not a big car guy. I would probably, if I have a lot of money, I probably have 3 vehicles: an SUV, a pickup, and a sedan. And that to me would be like going insane. And nothing too crazy. Maybe like a Lexus, a BMW, and then a Corolla. Are you sort of like that? Or are you the type that,
No.
like, look, I will have a Bugatti, I will have a Ferrari, I will have... No?
I would love to say that, but I'm not. I'm not. I'd rather spend my money somewhere else.
Okay.
Cars are complicated to me. I don't understand them. I don't, it takes me enough from point A to point B, and that's all I need. I don't need to be flashy my fucking McLaren, whatever the fuck. Jay Leno's collection, according to this, is worth $50 million. And
Damn.
he has just one of them. It's a McLaren F1 worth $12 million.
Yeah, get wrecked.
But he is known for having like old cars and collectibles. And for those of you who don't know who Jay Leno is, he used to be the host of the Tonight Show for many years.
And he's also a stand-up comedian.
Is he still doing
Yeah, he's still a stand-up comedian. And his motto, so to speak, is that he doesn't record. He's never recorded a special because he feels that will be burning the material. So if you want to see Jay Leno, you have to go see him live. There's no other way to see him. There's no album available. I'm almost sure of that. Maybe there is an audio album from back in the day, but he doesn't have a video special of him in Netflix or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, we could go for this longer. I love the collectibles talk. We'll probably have another podcast where we go into depth into different, sort of collectibles that are pretty hot now. I want to get a little bit more information into the Fanatic situation, the company that owns all the card companies now for the sports, and also a lot of the uniforms. If I'm not mistaken, Fanatic is going to be the MLB uniform maker.
I think this year the MLS, the Major League Soccer, they had a patch for new players. So it says like first game or something like that, very, very significant. And then what they do is that after that, they take that patch and then they're going to put it into a card. So let's say this year was Luis Suarez's first season in MLS. He has that patch going into a soccer card that's going to eventually sell for. So they try to make it a unique set.
Right.
So
and I bet they do this also with like rookies, and then they're like, all right, let's see which one of these fuckers makes it big.
Same with baseball. Baseball is doing the same patch. Now that I think about it, because
even though it's really cool, it is gimmicky.
Okay.
And this is something that we're gonna find out if maybe Fanatic. I mean, this is not something new. I've seen this in the past. It is a newer thing, like in the last 10 years. But we gotta find out if maybe Fanatic are like now doing this thing with card games where they're like, okay, how can we do this and combine it with memorabilia, part of the game, so we get all the rookies first game and we get a patch on them. That way we can see whoever makes it big. Now we got, I don't know, that could be the thing. Like, look, we'll keep the shirt that you used, and if you make it big, we'll cut it up and make a bunch of. Fanatics, Collectibles, and Topps have unveiled MLB debut patches created in partnership with MLB and MLB Players Inc. Ha! That's crazy. So you see what I'm saying? This is like a new wave of what's gonna come with collectibles, where people are gonna start combining it with things and sort of predicting the future. Like, hey, that card of that rookie, we got the rookie card with the patch of the first game he had. And we got a little bit of a, cum stain after he fucked some girls in the club.
Maybe 50, 60 years, instead of Mickey Mantle cards, we're going to have Pedro Perez, who's a fucking beast.
Right.
So...
yeah, like for example, I want to talk about, in another podcast, about a story of the almost perfect game by Venezuelan pitcher Armando Galarraga. But it's one of those things that, like, what if in that game, you don't know that you're going to throw a perfect game, you throw it, and then they grab that shirt from that game, they make cards, cut it up, and now it's like a whole thing. It is smart. I understand it's creative, but it does feel a little gimmicky. Like, it's not organic. Like, you're trying to make it a thing, So that part is the one that I don't.
This definitely has to do with the surge of this, the craziness that's going into the baseball cards now. So I think it might be gimmicky. I can see where you're coming from on that, but also it just adds a new value. Imagine if that Mickey Mantle card has a piece of his jersey on it.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. That would have been even more expensive.
Yeah, but the fact that they're creating that, it's not like that by luck somebody got the Mickey Mantle card and then a piece of the clothing and they created it together into now a piece. The fact that the card fabricators are from the beginning making a piece out of multiple pieces makes it sound gimmicky. But anyways, I want to know what the listeners think. What do you think about collectibles? Is there anything that you collect? Are you trying to get into a new vice or a new collectibles so that your money and time can go into something that's completely useless? Let us know. And please leave it on the comments. Leave the reviews if you can. It's very easy in Spotify and iTunes. It's just leaving a 5-star. You don't have to write anything. And you don't even know how much it helps us. It lets the government know that we are good people, which really helps us stay at bay and not get, raided or anything like that. Jeff Maurice from San Francisco. Much love. Everybody on the other side, take care. Keep it going. Keep it going.